Jules?
Yeah, all of that is true, of course. I mean, Spurs were dreadful in that first half, 35% of the ball at home in the Premier League, when you know you're in that fight for the top four, where you have to produce something, that you have Kane and Son up front that you need to give service to, and instead you can't even put three passes together. I mean, the boys, Craig, I think, said about the midfield. I mean, Højbjerg today, I know he's involved on the first goal, on the Bednarek goal, but the rest of his game was atrocious, really bad. I mean, Winks is not much better, and Bentancur came on quite late, maybe too late, to be fair. Didn't have much of an impact, but he didn't even look into the game either. And I think there's so much work to be done. Remember, we left them in that game at Chelsea where Conte got the tactics so defensive that he got it wrong, really. And then today, which I think, again, he should have been far better inspired. I know now he can shout on the players and say, oh, they're not good enough. Look at the midfield, look at this, look at that. Of course, I'm not sure that Conte is not to blame either by the fact that they had such a terrible game today.
You know, I mentioned Højbjerg a few weeks ago. He's decent at what he does. That's running around and blocking and, you know, playing the ball 10 yards. He's a classic player that's going to make a bundle of cash out the game that has the inability to pass the ball more than 20 yards from a midfielder.
Right.
A midfielder who can't really play a long, raking ball. Bentancur can,
Craig.
and probably will. Right?
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have played with somebody like Didier Deschamps who wasn't able to make a passes more than 15 yards. But you know, I think those players, they serve the team, they defend well, and you have to give a little bit of credit with Højbjerg. I was, of course, very bad today, but that guy is maybe fed up, running for the others, not being helped out by anybody else. Wings was absolutely invisible today, and if you have a big game, nobody can try to sort the problems out at your place. So it's a real problem from him. Yes, he's not a fantastic player. Yes, I agree with you. He's a classic player, but he works hard. At least there is one guy who works hard for like the past 2 years he has been playing for Spurs, but he cannot be the only guy working hard in the middle of the park as well.
Maybe him and Bentancur will be a better partnership, we'll see. They might end up having to play, you know, that right-back position's been a problem. Serge Aurier,
sure.
Right wing-back, call it what you want. Matt Doherty came in from Wolves, played in a wing-back role more often than not under Nuno Espirito Santo. Then Mourinho went to a back four. He found himself isolated. I do agree with Frank on that point. I don't think Doherty's the best player out there, but I think he's understands the game better than Emerson Royal. Understands it, but they might end up playing Kulusevski as a wing back.
Yeah,
possibly. I mean, there's maybe an option out there. But listen, if this had been Mourinho managing this team, we'd have been slaughtering it.
Right.
That's how bad it was. Southampton and I agree. Hasenhüttl was a good coach. What he's doing with what he's got. I mean, they don't spend any money. They just lose players for fun. You know, Adams and Broja up front and Romeo, and it's just, you know, what he's getting out of them is unbelievable. But to have 23 efforts on goal to Tottenham's 8 or whatever it is and outplay them in that way, I mean, just completely outplay them. And the World Feed commentator was Martin Tyler. And this is how bad it was. In the first half, he said, at one point, he went, oh, they're all lining up to have a shot at goal now.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.